Hello. Good morning, good day, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time zone the world you all are. It's your Blue Archive Gacha where begin out self-proclaimed and your boy Tosanyo. Welcome to the stream. For today, I will be continuing my weekly kind of schedule, which is like doing art streams. And I do like art streams like every single week in my schedule, and today I will be trying Vtubing fan art and gonna draw like the biggest mystery, more or less. It's like Vtubing, which is like Hatoba Tsugu. Usually modern VTubers and everything, they're on Twitter, they have like a social media website and everything, and they post there when they announce their streams or like repost when they have merch or whatever. But this kind of case here with Hatoba Tsugu is like more like what is like a traditional VTuber back in the days, but there's like another twist with her, which is like the added mystery to her streaming activities, but like to her YouTube activities in general. Like the word VTuber comes like from YouTube, you know, and and with that comes like YouTube content videos like in mind. And she's like an interesting case. I'm not like quite sure how to draw her. Probably not in chibi. And I want to keep a serious tone and like see how I do this. Let me check. Let me check. I need a reference as well. How about this one? Usually my art streams take like about 2 hours on average, but if I'm fast can be 1 hour, can maybe like take 3, but I will like try to like keep it within the limits. You have like on the left side some samples on what to expect, not drawn chibi style or like in a regular one, even though I rarely apply like colors in this kind of case with regular style. I will be like trying to yap until then, so you can like feel free to have like the stream open for that, listening to my TED talk also, and yeah. Currently my status, I'm still sick. I'm still sick. 3 weeks so far. Haven't recovered at all. I kind of overslept, like when I woke up it was like 6 AM, 6:44 AM or so. Like almost 15 minutes too late for the stream. But yeah. I had like a little bit of a dream, I suppose. It was kind of like that there was like one little girl So it's kind of like Witch Hut Atelier-ish, you know? They wanted to like learn magic. And then there were like many groups where there's like a sensei, like a master, and then their kind of group of like students, you know? It was kind of discussion on like for her the choice, you know? What right of group to join to like make progress, the best progress, you know? In which kind of environment would that girl grow the most? I think I was like the point of view from that one person. Weirdly enough. I went like along with that, you know. I can remember there were like some dives into like caves or so, dungeons. Okay, we had no fights and everything. But it was like dives to like collect like resources, you know, like when you like make potions and everything, you like collect materials first and then you go to the place and everything, you know. It's kinda like this. I remember. But then at some point was like the kind of discussion there. It kinda like made me like think, you know. Like it could be like school or like those elite schools, you know, home schools, that you should like be in an environment that is focused on like making you the best ever, you know? It's like studying, studying, studying. Kinda, you know? But then another sensei came in. He's like his group of kids, all like boys, you know? And they are like kind of like legs, or I don't know, like she's like a kindergarten more or less. And he kind of like said like, yeah, I could like take her in like to teach her magic, even though it would be secondary. And then, but because it would be secondary, because your boys were like so right, maybe she cannot focus on like studying. Also was like one of the arguments or so. I was just like silently watching, kind of like, I was like, oh, we were aware that was a dream, you know. I was just kind of like absorbed into like what happens, you know, and just like played along. And the argument of like the one sensei with like this, who like said it was like kind of secondary for him to train that girl, my POV, like me, that they need like a, that is like truly right, that kids need like a right environment to like train, you know? They're still young. Like kids are still young, you know? Like sure, kids are adaptable, they can learn, and it would be like nice to like have them in an environment where they can like practice that, but at the same time they're children, so they also need like room to blow steam off. With like all the children, students like he has, you know, there's like room for that. More or less. And you need like time to blow steam off, you know, play, and let your brain like recover, rather than like spending 16 hours or like all the hours of awake time to try to crush information into your like brain, you know. There's a little opening as well. Some have like a big opening, which means they can like learn a lot faster, they can fit more in, or they have like small hole, and then you have like to kind of like take it slowly, you know. And then if it's like, for example, like average or like slow, little the hole, like put information in, and then it like time, let it sink in a sense. Do you get what I mean? It kind of was like interesting, like how say argued, you know. And when I like woke up like with no alarm, I was like saying, shit, I need to stream. But at the same time, those words from the sensei there kind of like stick into my mind. Kind of like, you know, this was kind of memorable. And the thing is like in a dream, everything you dream in a dream, those are like things you also could come up yourself, you know, on arguments and such, or like ideas. And at this time I was like, again, man, bravo, Tosan. You have amazing kind of thought process there, I think. But yeah, this was like kind of like the thing there. I thought it was pretty neat. But yeah, when you teach someone, environment is important. There's a room to bloom, not only like to a silent one where they can like focus on learning. Sometimes ideas come like from alone, like when when they like get into play or so, when they like hang out with others. So that was like interesting dream. I don't like that. I could like describe it a little bit more, but it was like basically like Witch Hat Atelier. It just was kind of like in a environment where the indoors were like many plants, you know, like in an indoor garden, you know. I saw like many like kids or like adults, you know, like the senseis and then the students, you know, walking around, which had like those wizard hats, not witch hat atelier hats, like which are like those sharp pointy ones, but just like witch hats, you know, or like sorcerer hats and whatever, and like their long coats and so, fluttering the wind or whatever. Kinda would have been curious how the stream would like still go, but yeah, it was kind of like weird with this one, because before I like woke up a little bit later, I woke up like at around 5 AM, and then let me sleep for like 5 more minutes. 30 more minutes, and I'm ready to stream. And then I managed to like nap and then dream of that, and it's kinda usually like when they're within the 2-hour marks of like napping or so, you're able to dream. But if it's like within 1 hour or like around the 3rd hour, 5th hour, you know, then you do not remember the dream or you don't dream at all, which is weird. But yeah, I managed to dream. Similar to like my daydreams sometimes. Dreams are interesting. They keep me not awake. They keep me like curious and intrigued. Well, this was kind of the message of my dream. Oji-san! Hello Kotomi! Guess what? Nani? Nani? I'm here! Karinasai! Welcome to the stream. I'm doing like an art stream and trying like an OG, which is like one of those traditional VTubers back in the days, but also a very mysterious one. Welcome. I talk a little bit like about my short stream I had, which I kind of like found fascinating on the sense of like messaging and like what kind of truth in their lies. How are you, Oji-san? I'm like kinda okay. I mean, I trimmed, so I feel like I've woke up kind of like satisfied, but at the same time when I look at the clock I was like, frick, I'm like 50 minutes so late to the stream. And then I pushed like the stream like 15 minutes later, I suppose, like 30 minutes later. It's 7 AM on my time zone, and decided to like eat some breakfast, drink something, hydrate myself, and then I'm ready to stream. And here we are. I had like a little bit of a dream, you know, kind of a short one. Like I woke like around 5 AM, decided like to sleep like 5 more minutes please, and then decided and then slept like a lot longer. But yeah. Actually know this one. I remember reading some threads about her online. Threads. Threatening me. About her online. Okay, sure. Sounds like a good morning. I suppose like it's kind of like a mix of like, yeah, I tried something, but at the same time, shit, I'm way too late. I need to get my shit together. Let's go. Yeah. So I suppose. No, 3 is a good sign. Glad you slept well. Yeah, I suppose. That was basically, let's say, just a little bit of like Hogwarts, like Witch Hat Atelier, like the setting, you know. The environment was like kind of an indoor garden, kind of. Can't like describe like, could like describe it a little bit more. It was kind of like that. This was like big round one. Like in the center was like a lot of like things, and then inside, oh gosh, I think it was like a lot bigger. It was like ways that were like snorkeling like that, so like straight lines and so, and like along there like many like kind of hilly kind of like areas with like plants and so. Indoor garden, how cute. Yeah, there were like adults, and there were like the students, you know, or like kids students in a sense. And I was like among one of these, and suppose there was a girl there. It was kind of like who should like take me, who should take the girl under custody, you know, so that they can learn the ways of like magic and so. And so like some like wanted to do the elite approach on like, you know, elite school, homeschooling, that you try to let them like learn as much as possible when they're awake, you know, like kind of like learning the whole day, kind of like that they become like at some point I see, oh, so like the master of magic. But there was like some arguing like going on there, you know, and also like the girl was not sure. I don't know, this sounds so good to me. What about this? What about that? You know, like there was like kind of a trial phase of every single one. You know, some came like with exploring dungeons, like or like going to the forest and like collecting materials, like materials in a sense that you need like for potions, mixing, whatever. You know, it sounds lovely, OMG. Yeah, it's kind of like, you know, you look for the right sensei. You know, and they're like sensei who have their own group of like students like training among this ones, like a little class, you know. But at some point, like one sensei stepped in, you know, because there was still like no final decision yet, and then, hey, how about I take this girl under my custody, you know? It's sure it's like kind of taking there for me to like, train like someone else, but I sure have the right environment to train her, kinda. He would, that sensei would like say. He had like a lot of like kid students, but like boys, you know, that are kind of like effing around finding out. And I thought like the way he like introduced himself and then like what he had like to offer, like interesting. Kind of like, you know, basically isekai. I don't know, I don't remember that much, you know. Dreams are sometimes so blurry, more or less, and scattered. It's not so like that you have like one continuous dream. Sometimes you get like in one scenario, and then it feels like you skip like one chapter or 2 chapters, and then you're like in another one, you know, kinda. But like what that one sensei said was interesting, you know, the environment's like important, more or less. That he said like, yeah, sure, when a kid spends the whole time learning, this can be time well spent, because you're like sure they have like food around and so. But at the same time, this girl's a kid, you know? She still needs like room to like grow and like experience like her childhood, kind of like. It's like about morale, more or less, kind of like. And because they're a kid, they are like allowed to play around. And with that, when they are like in a mood, the good mood, when things like learning and everything will like go a lot better in a sense. Some students are like really adaptable, you know. Like let's say they have like a hole where like some information goes in, you know. Some are like really adaptable, like they have a brick hole, and you can input a lot more information in, and things like in like a lot easier. But sometimes the hole is like a bit on the average side, not like very big, but like very small. And no matter how many hours you spend on like pumping information in, there's not enough like opening to like let it sink properly in. So they need time to decompress with like playing around, you know, talking with other people, making some context, maybe you need it for later, and something like that. And this kind of like arguments, you know, from this one sensei, who seemed like a bit laxer, you know, had like a lot of like playing boys around him, you know, kind of like seems very reasonable. This was like kind of like moments before I like woke up, you know, like with when they like laid down their arguments. It was kind of like, man, I like this one. But at the same time, this was my dream. This were my thoughts. This is like basically how Tosan came up with that scenario, you know, in a dream, and kind of like found it fascinating. But yeah, this was like the truth more or less. That's how it felt skipping some episodes of Naruto, yes. My teachers were very patient with me since I was a kid. They would easily get distracted. Yeah, I suppose. Like, kids can get distracted. Kids are still kids in the day. They're not like some robots, you know, that like don't know the information at the end of the day, you know. So I felt like that one sets really appealing. But I couldn't, but I would not know how like it goes further. I just like woke up and be like, man, interesting. I like this dream. I kind of like want to see like it more, but then I look at my clock and be like, frick, I'm literally to the stream. And then, go, eat breakfast, eat something, change the schedule a little bit, you know? Like, I'm gonna stream 7 AM, but I'm sorry, yeah. Were your teachers patient? Some of them, like my homeroom teachers were. And they see like some things wouldn't work out, they would move on, but with an eye roll and be like, ah, yeah. Something like that. At least something visible, you know. Like my one of my homeroom teachers. My religion teacher was like pretty cool. He would like teach like not in a regular way in a sense. Like he would watch us like let us watch some movies or so, or like would like lay some other problems like down, like kind of like some social questions on like, you know, a friend owes you money. And then he didn't give it back to you, you know? In a sense. Would this one still be a friend? Kinda. And back in this I'll be like, no, a friend is like a one who's always there for someone else, and then of course he would still be my friend in a sense, but I kind of like didn't thought it really through, you know? A friend is not really like something of a ATM or so. They are like there for other reasons, you know? Sure, it can be like nice to lead on someone for like money issues, but it shouldn't be permanent, and you shouldn't have like forever like debt, you know? And something like that. But like things like the trolley problem, or like things like that trucks can be like really bad, and like the way on like detoxing yourself on that can be also like pretty hard, or so and so. But also the trolley problem, hey, was like kind of something. Cute but a frantic morning, yeah, cute dream but frantic morning. I feel like friendship is very complicated, yeah it is, you know. But there are also like other questions on like, okay, how do you describe love, you know? And there are like many right answers he would like say. He can't like give points for like for wrong answers actually, because there are many answers in a sense, you know. Some describe it as like, oh, it's a warm fuzzy feeling in my chest. Some be like, it's undescribable, you know, I don't really know. And then yeah, he was like pretty, like, my religion teacher was like pretty cool. And he was like really unconventional with his like appearance as well. He had like a long ponytail, kind of like Majima. He wore like glasses, you know, sunglasses and everything. And when he would like sit down, he wouldn't like be like cramped up and everything. He would be like really relaxed. Sometimes changing his postures over and over, you know, or like would stand up and like walk around, you know, something like that. But overall really relaxed. Even the most deep bond can break easily, yes. This can like sure do. He sounds cool. I like teachers that let kids think of deeper, more important topics instead of repeating some exercises. That's for sure. And he was also like kind of like taking care of us in a way. Kind of like that he was like kind of tracking or emotional or like personal growth. Like something like that. I was kind of like cramped up in a sense, you know. We're like locked down, a little bit, things like a little bit up, you know. But when I was like a little bit more extroverted, you know, he would like see that and be like, hey, Tosan, if you're gonna be like that, you know, like extroverted, you're gonna be more successful. More or less he like said, you know, if I go out of my way and be myself, you know, like be cringe but free. I suppose he's somewhat right. But just like during work, I don't feel like being myself that much, you know, or like showing that I'm myself. Because I can't really connect with like the people at work. But if it's a different environment, you know, like YouTube, sure, I think can try. But it could also be that he liked my extroverted like version a lot better, you know, than the one who's like, you know, hiding in a corner and like reading a book also. And yeah. I can remember also we took like photos, like group photos and everything before we like parted. I pretty much like this one. I see, yeah. Of course, like my home read teacher and so, and would also be like kind of interesting, cool, you know. They were like protecting me or like watching over me in some way. I used to be bullied actually. I was like the target of everything, of like stuff. So they were like making sure to protect me, in a sense, on like telling the other students, you know, hey, this boy went through this and this. Can you like be more careful like about your word choice and everything, something like that as well. And the classmates were actually like pretty like caring. There was like a time where I like came to school and I had like a visible face wound on my face, you know, like how do I describe that? Like, you know, when someone slaps you left to right, but it's like with full power, and then there's like some mark like visible after that. I came like with something like that to school. And they were kind of like, they saw that and be like, what the hell happened, Tosan, you know? It looks like someone hit you with like with a hot iron or so. Something like that. And with that I'm kind of like aware that there can be consequences for me if I do bad at school, so something like that, yeah. But I'm not gonna go too much into detail about that one. But fact is like, I was like bullied in a sense, you know, and then they're like, shit, you know, that's bad. And it's kind of like made me aware, like with you know, like with the homeroom teacher and like with the other students, like I got a new class, that the world's not all that dark and like that nobody will help you. Actually, there are people who want to help you, and so. Oh, geez, son, that's so sad. Yeah. Had a teacher that would make collages of each class picture. Okay, I see. But yeah, it's a little bit interesting of a thing that like there are things like action and then reaction, you know. That I have that like things like help and everything only comes when it's too late. There's nothing like a preparation or like there. But after they saw like what happened with me, there was like this kind of like prep before like something bad happens to me or so. That's so nice. I'm glad someone helped. Yeah. Like the world felt like a little bit like dark for me. There was like no one I could like really rely on to, you know. Everyone seemed a little bit like an enemy to me, so I kind of like shut down myself, you know. I locked like my feelings away and everything. And my religion teacher, for example, you know, I talk about, he kind of like he didn't really like the version like who locks himself up, you know. There should like be like more cringe and free, but at the same time I had like those kind of like issues back in the days where I had like every reason to not show my true self. But yeah, I was still a kid back in the days, you know. And you have like plenty of room of like doing mistakes there. But in any case, it's really not like Japanese manga or like those manhwas, like the Korean ones with their webtoons and so, that when you need help, that you have like to take it on alone, they're actually like people like willing out to help you. Like when, like in Yakuza, you know, for example, someone gets beat up on the streets, there will be bystanders and they'll be like, shit, you know, this is bad, you know, something like that. And they wouldn't like just stand around. They would like get help their own way. Normally. Back in days was like more the Wild West though. Like a lot more rulers. I'm happy there's good people in the world. Yeah. By the way, I was like a student who's like signing himself up to be sick, you know, and like missing and everything. I would like come every single day to school. Maybe I should have like done this, but at the same time, what kind of excuse should I like bring up to my parents, you know? Also like the thing. I was like really never someone who like did that. I should have, I think. But yeah, school can be a good place. But if I think about it, you know, looking at like some mangas and so, I sometimes wish it would be like similar like that, but they're like not a, how it's called, not a blueprint for something. It's just like a story at the end of the day, you know. Like with high school romances, you know. And for example, if you get a new student in the school, oh, by the way, we get a transfer student, welcome this new hot little girl, by the way. And then, you know, sometimes we had like those cases where we got a new student in the class and I'm like, oh, can I make friends with this one? Kind of like the hopes of little me. Reading too much manga and anime and watching too much anime, but mostly like reading too much manga, and then shit. They were fast telling me, oh no, this is not the girl of my life, whatever, and then yeah. High school romance is propaganda, it's a government lie. Yeah, I suppose. End of the day, it's just a story, it's not reality, you know. Which is kind of like, you know. I had so much hope, and then it doesn't turn out to be like something like that. I'm spending too much time on the sketch, by the way, but kind of want to make sure it's like alright. It wasn't like anime told me. Same. It's really not easy to make friendships or like potential romance and so. And when I was in elementary school kids, I did burn some bridges actually. I sure was an idiot. I was a fool. Baka mitai da ne. I admire people who hold friendships from when they were kids. That's so cool. Well, actually, regarding this one Star Wars nerd friend, you know, the normie who I brought into like watching anime, like SAO, you know. This was like one friendship I still could like uphold even after elementary school. We were like at different schools and so, but I still would visit him, or I would like invite him to my place, you know, every weekend. Like one day in a weekend, you know. I would visit him, or I would invite him. I always make a phone call first and like, hello? And then, hey, it's me Toshan, can I come visit? Oh yeah, sure, come by, and then yeah, something like that. I could be with the mother, or with the sister of like my nerd friend, and be like, oh, I'm gonna give it to mom or like my Oni-chan, and they'll be like, yeah, sure, you can come, and then yeah. Now yes, the normie, a recurring character that I love, yeah. Nowadays I don't really interact with him that much. I'm still not really sure if that is their friendship, you know, but back in the days, that's all I had, like, you know, and he had me. And sometimes the mother would like tell me, you know, how that normie friend, you know, misses me, like how his son like misses me, kind of like when I'm not around there, he looks kind of like bored and like, you know, and every single time the phone would like would ring, he would like, oh, and then like check if it's me, you know, and it's not. It was kind of like cute, you know, if I look back at that, you know. As a kid, I didn't really thought much of it, you know. Sometimes I felt like showing too much emotions like kind of cringe, you know. I don't want to show weakness. I'm a man, you know, something like that. But yeah. My friends would just show up at my house, my grandpa's house, and had a big garden, so hangouts were always there. Cool. That's cute. Yeah. But nowadays, yeah, there's like not much reason. But I heard like that he's like hanging out with our online group, you know, to like play D&D, like Dungeons and Dragons, like tabletop RPGs and so. He is into like more Warhammer. He does like some kind of like office job. He kind of invited me like once, you know. And this seems like kind of like, a bit sus to me. But then he has also like his like side hustle, which is like making pizza at the pizzeria or so. And I was like, okay, you do be able to like make your living. But it was also like odd to me, he's like wearing a suit, like at his workplace, you know, like not in this area, but like in this like main hustle. It seemed a little bit of a sus one to me. Not sure like how to explain it. Maybe I shouldn't. And he makes pizza, so cool, yeah. It was like maybe like, around 2019, the last time I like interacted with him or so. Like 7 years ago. Gosh. Because when there were COVID, there was absolutely no reason to interact with me, really. But he was my longest friend. And I think if I come back to him, I might still be able to. But I have like to do it slowly. I can't like do it like back in the days where like make a call and be like, hey, can you come over? And they'd be like, yeah, sure, you know. I need like a little bit more prep time, I suppose. More steps. I mean, you're a cool person. I'm sure you still are crazy at least. Yeah. But usually friendships are not like something like where you pop in like once a while, you know, like after years, you know, and be like, hey, wanna hang out? I'm not sure like how this would work. Like if their texts are like at least once a year, I also don't think it's like that worth, you know. Maybe like every week or like every month, you know. It feels kind of like a long distance relationship, you know, at this point. Which should not be. We live like in the same town. But yeah, SAO. He's still a fan of that. I saw like he has posters around his house, and so not house, his room, you know, of like Kirito and Asuna. They're like his. I really like either he likes it so much or he appreciates like my choice, you know, which made him like a fan of anime, you know, in a sense. Remember like when he plays an online game and there's like a chance to like get a second companion, you know, for example a horse, and he would call that one Asuna, kinda like. It's kinda like, he's this kind of normie who's like not like into vulgar things. He wants like to stay true to the essence of like what makes like one concept so special, you know? So he's not too much into high school romances and everything. He's like this kind of like normie. I'm not really like sure. Is it because of me or actually to find this character hot but you don't want to admit it? But yeah, something like that. We know we are both bad at texting. Actually I have a friend like that, we stopped talking for a few years. And one day we meet to watch movies. We are both bad at texting and calling, so when we get in touch we have a lot to talk about. Ah, I see. Yeah, I think... Drink something? Yeah, I think when so much time has passed, a lot of things has happened, and then you have a lot more stories and like stuff to exchange, you know, life experience, like happenings and so, where you can talk over days. And since I think I became like more extroverted in those 7 years, you know, I can be more extroverted, you know, then yeah, sure. I think the reason why I do lock myself away, my true self, while I'm actually extroverted, my social battery is low. I have a low social battery, I think. So I get like pretty exhausted like really quick. If I'm like too much into interaction with like strangers or like work colleagues, you know. Sure, I can like unleash the social butterfly, but I really want like to preserve that for people I care about, you know, not some randos. Actually, I watched SM with my friend too. She doesn't like anime, but she loves it, and she even has a few Asuna merch, like posters, figurines, and necklaces, I think. Oh, so it's the same. It's good to see how people grow into more proper person, not just in age. Yeah, like there are enough people older than me that are still immature. So yeah, actually growing into a proper person is important to like observe. In my workplace are, for example, like some that are still that I still feel like that are immature. But yeah, whatever. I will leave this workplace anyway. And then, yeah, I don't have to worry about it. But the thing is, like, you will never find like a perfect workplace where you can like vibe with everyone. If it's at the very least neutral, which is like this case here. Yeah, sure, you know, it's still okay. It's not a nightmare, you know, it's still like bearable. Oh, I hate socializing. I let my friends do the talking. Huh? Other than Oji-sans a billion trillion years? Yeah, I suppose. They're senpais, they're like older people, you know, but they're not mature. I had like the pleasure like at my trainee that I'd like to spend time with like, no, there was like a trainee group. Not trainee group. Wait, actually, maybe trainee group. There were like 3 other people with me. One of them older, already a dad, but man, he was immature. It's like, this guy, you can describe him as like, F around and find out. And he F'd around a lot. And he found out. Not yet, you know. So the thing is like, he did things, but he didn't necessarily gain experience. And with that, nothing to reflect on, I'm like, shit, I should like avoid this and that, you know? And yeah. Like he keeps getting away with like stuff, in a sense. And he's already a dad. It's kind of like, Kind of like someone who still enjoys youth, instead of like taking responsibility. But yeah. But there are other cases as well. Sometimes teachers you don't like, you know, they're also not really mature. They don't really take responsibility, you know, in a sense. And they're bad at teaching when it's like their fault that you perform bad as well. Of course, it's also about you playing your cards right, but if your environment sucks so ass that you can't really like learn properly, then it's also like, yeah. That's why I kind of like why I think this dream like I had, you know, about like little bit of Witch Hat Atelier and Hogwarts, you know, that the right environment to like grow is important. Yeah, it makes like a lot of more sense if I think about that. Oh, I'm so shocked. Yes, you know, leaving a workplace is giving yourself an opportunity to grow, so I'm happy for you. Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, I don't regret like working. I mean, I had money. I can pay my rent and so. And I got experience. But man, I lose a lot of time. Like, I wouldn't have anything against working, but we do a lot of overtime, you know? And let's say the payment's already not amazing. Amazing! So it would be like average like wage. It would be like good, but we're like really close to like minimum wage, kind of like. So even if I do like extra hours, the difference of like how much money I earn is pretty small. So might as well do a part-time job where I probably earn a lot more per hour you know, and also get more free time with my backup plan. Amazing! I'm sorry I can't give you a few of my $1 trillion, but I want you to be a trillionaire by yourself. Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. I need to prove myself first. The light went out? Jeez. Do you have a electrical outage? Is it fine? Can your phone still live? Or so? Or the laptop? Yep, oh, I see. Something doesn't happen really at my place unless I try to plug in something into how do you call it in English? But when I plug something in and like something unstable, you know, like one of those in my apartment. There are like many like where holes, electrical things, you know, where they plug in like electricity stuff that like works perfectly fine, but there's like one hole that doesn't really work that well. Like I tried to plug in like things like a charging cable, fine. I tried like steam machine like the other day, then boom, lights out and everything. So yeah, it really depends like on device to device. I think like steam machine needs more electricity. It's winter here since our country is very tropical. We don't get snow but rain. Tons of rain, a lot of rain, many rain. The rainbow is up with everything. Let's see. I had like the pleasure of like experiencing like tropical like kind of like environments as well. When I would like, for example, do a vacation, like back in the days, like in Southeast Asia, like those places like Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, also, and I do get it. It's like a lot of rain, no snow at all. And there's sometimes like those monsoon things, you know, where they're like seasons where it's just like pisses, it's just piss full of like rain. And then I see like a lot of like, you know, the traffic would be like full of motorcycles, and then they would like wear those extremely long raincoats, you know, that covers the whole body like they're ghosts, you know, with like one bed cover above them. That's something it's just similar to Latin America. I'd love to go. Yeah, sure. But they're like, whilst that similar kind of like environments, I suppose, there are like other animals and insects, you know? So be aware of mosquitoes and everything there too. And what kind of like sicknesses they can like transfer. And yeah, you need an AC to survive summer there, by the way. It is like extremely hot. Oh, don't got me started on summer. And we have July, which is like the middle of summer. But apparently the peak is on August. I will go to Japan there, and I heard like summer in Japan is like more brutal than the tropical regions, like Southeast Asia, like the sea. Southeast Asia. I haven't experienced Japanese summer yet, but I will have the pleasure to. Am I like kind of preparing myself regarding that? What is the area? Was 42? What the hell? 42? 42? No way. Only get summer and winter, so the temperature change is pretty obvious. I see. I hope you have AC at the very least. You need this to survive, I think. Like normal room temperature should be like around 22 to 24 degrees. You already like hit like 30s or so. Indoors, it's already like hard to fall asleep. I think. Right now we have an 18 degree. Oh, okay, 18 is like wonderful. You can sleep with that. Like, it should be like actually like around this average room temperature I described, but it got also like hot recently like these days, so the room temperature in my room is like 3 degrees higher. I actually have to undress myself properly before I go to bed, so that I don't like wake up with a pool of like sweat, you know, like down there. And yeah. Covering the whole mouth. Most people don't have AC here. We have fans in every room. Almost every door and window stays open. So like the air ventilation, huh? It's like the trick. I suppose, yeah, it can work out. I don't have a fan, I don't have AC. I'm kind of lucky that my apartment is not in like a angle where the sun can directly shine into my apartment. And then like if it heated, you know, daylight comes in, but not the warm sunlight, you know. So that's like the one thing. Still, it's still hot. The first time ever, like, I experienced like something like that in my apartment. Like usually when I go outside, hot. When I go inside, it's like, ha, better temperatures. But nowadays it doesn't feel like that much difference. I mean, yeah. Hello, Gertop 5605. Du kannst auch Deutsch? Ja, ich kann auch Deutsch, aber lass auf Englisch reden. Hello, Eli Lang, 123. Can I do a request or no? Hello, welcome to the stream. You see on the top right, I don't really take requests. You see also like in the description. But in any case, welcome to the stream. Drawing like Vtubing fan out of like Hatoba Tsugu. Welcome, welcome. But tourists get cooked when they come on summer, yeah. The planet is getting hotter each day. Each year. Yes, actually it's like the global warming. Can't do much about that, I suppose. Like at the end of the day, change already happens, you know, like things are like rolling. Like the dices have fallen, and we can't do much about like things like anymore. So yeah. All we can do is like prepare for like impending doom of like hot summer. I think like the price of AC will like maybe rise with that, you know, similar like how they did like with rum and or like the ice. I mean, yeah. Yeesh, it's annoying. Yeah, it sure is. Maybe I should like buy one, but I don't know if I can afford one. Probably I can, you know. That man's gonna be expensive. Adventure. Expensive venture, yeah. How did I draw her back in the days? I did used to draw this girl back in the days, but I was like a good artist back then, maybe like 2022 or 2023, maybe 2021. Actually, I did try 2021, right? Yeah, I did 5 years ago. What do you mean? I like it. Yeah, I mean, so far there's like nothing distinct where you can say like, man, that's bad, you know. But still, I'm a little bit critical of myself when it comes to drawing. Let's say I think I kind of got like bad at drawing like in regular style. I need to like to pick up like drawing every now and then to like not get rusty. But even then, I think I need more. I need more time to draw. Like people do enjoy like drawings, you know, enough so that they like ask for requests in a sense, you know. But I can't really like take every like single one because at the end of the day, I feel more comfortable drawing what I want to draw. Sure, you can leave some requests, but I won't like take them, you know. Oh, it would be cool if you draw this character. Hey, I like Hatsumiko, by the way. Could you draw her? Whatever, you know. Yeah. If I feel comfortable, I will like draw her my own, you know. But yeah, like some characters on my own. But currently, like, it all depends like on like my current environment. Sometimes, you know. Sometimes I play certain games, you know, or like watch certain anime. Then I'm like, man, I want to draw this one, and I can't be bothered to draw, you know. But yeah, in any case. Every artist is overly conscious of their mistakes. Yes, that's like true. Like we are pretty aware. Artists are like pretty aware of that. Like even if you draw Stickman, you know, that's all you can do. You're gonna be like, man, I can't draw cute characters or like cool ones. And so, I mean, yeah, something like that. At some point, the request starts sounding more like free commissions. I get it. Yeah. At the same time, if you like want to make friendships with artists, don't expect like free art of them, for example. You know. Sure, you can make art rates in a sense. You know, like I draw you a character that you want me to draw. You draw me one character that I want see you to draw, something like that. Art rates, you know, traditional. But sometimes like scammer come in and like I think art rate is like something different, like where it's like something of a transaction or so, right? This was like one of the scams I saw like last year or so around. I did like from a Discord moderator or so. And he like shared like a little bit of that. Screenshots or so. Art rates are so fun, but sometimes a bit unfair. Yeah. Imagine you like ask the goat of like manga art, manga drawing, you know, and you're just like want someone who likes draw stick figures, you know. Sometimes you feel like, man, he did such a good job, but I did such a bad one compared to him. It's kind of like, you know, this kind of like thing where you kind of like feel bad for yourself. So yeah, I did like some 2 art trades back in the days. It was like mostly during like Selen Gate, like when there was like those big graduations in Nishisanji. Around this time, I would like to art trades, you know. I drew like, and sometimes like before, I think like I drew like some Nishisanji girls, Selen Tatsuki or so. Then after Selen Gate, like Doki Bird, like before she got like her cowboy outfit, you know, something like that. It feels like a contest, yes. I kind of felt like unfair. It felt kind of like unfair, you know, because I was better than my friend there. So I kind of like, yeah, not much reason. And I feel like I could like ask other artists as well, but at the same time I don't have the friendship with them yet, you know. And kind of like budge and be like, hey, you wanna do art trade? And then like sound like one of those bad scammers, you know, when yeah. Send an original design, so yeah, the original design is pretty. I drew like this bitch I lived meme there, you know, like with Selen. Which was like this kind of photo where like one baldy guy looking at the camera or so, with like very squinted eyes and kind of like pissed, you know. While he was still in hospital, like kind of like a bandage above his nose. It has like those it's a hospital bed with like wearing hospital clothes, but really squinted, really like annoyed, kind of pissed off, and then like, bitch, I lived. Like this kind of meme. Very fitting for her. Yes, yes, yes. My friend was just like a bishoujo kind of like thing, but I would kind of like thought a bit something about funny stuff. And then yeah, like how you can like kind of recognize. Sometimes I do like love the derpy kind of stuff or like meme-ish things, you know. And then yeah, but I can like draw regular style too, but it depends. I think for Hatoba Tsugu I cannot do anything. For this mysterious VTuber, I cannot do anything derpy or so. Nothing comes to mind. Maybe like eating something bigger than herself, like maybe a big watermelon or like pineapple, or like seeing her eat some dessert, you know, would be like cute. Hello, cute girl. You wanna come to my truck and eat some pizza? Something like that. And then the one asking is like some like fat ugly bastard, you know. Yeah. And actually like seeing cute little girls like eating something can be kind of cute, actually. You're laughing too. Gosh. Kind of kind of like wrong. We kind of like yeah, no, it's kind of like wrong, but at the same time, you know, with Hatoba Tsugu, when I watch like her videos, you know, slash video skits. It's about her doing some activities, like cooking, being at the park, maybe like playing some crane machines or so. But for some reason, like with the resolution or like of the video, the filters and everything, something feels wrong. Something feels wrong. It kind of feels like she might get kidnapped or something happened to her, or that she's a ghost or so. It's kind of a mystery. And nobody really has like a clear answer, you know? But I'm intrigued, so I will like still watch her. And by the way, she got a figurine, I think like 1 year, 2 years ago. It's like sold out, but I kinda like want one. Wrong? Question mark? Yeah, I feel like something is wrong. Like you watch a video, she's like in the forest, and she's like having fun, I suppose, or like she's eating, she's cooking or so. And the videos have like some kind of surreal feel. Like there's one anime girl in 3D interacting with the real world or so, with like one kind of region in like Tokyo or so, or something like that, or like in a different town. But it feels like really much a ghost town, you know, just seeing her around, not with other people. Then something feels wrong. And at the same time, who's taking those videos? It's not her, right? And yeah. And then you're curious. I mean, you watch and watch, but that's not enough. And the videos are really short to like make a concrete like deduction, you know? I know something's wrong, but I can't prove it, in a sense, you know? It could be this, but I can't prove it. Something like that, you know? Talk about figurines, I saw a Kyoko figurine. I have never been so disappointed in my life. In yourself or like the figurine? Oh, you remind me about that Japan town filled with dolls instead of people. Ah, yes, as well. It can be cute in a sense, you know? But it can be like this creepy kind of like thing with like dolls. Like those ghost towns or so, or like horror stories. But this one town, like at least like farm town, village. Yeah, there was like one where I have like a lot of like dolls. Yes, I remember that one. The figurine. Yeah. But don't you have trillion of dollars? Can't you just buy it? I would die if I went to that town. I even hear someone walking, I would run away so fast. Yeah. It is sure creepy. Well, well. Will it be this figure's like more expensive than your trillion of dollars? It's like a bajillion worth. Must sure like be an amazing figurine, like life-size one. Something with a hole and everything, like all the luxury, you know. I'm not like sure like how female people goon to like a life-size figurine, but their gooning is like more competitive than like what the males are able to. I heard like, especially like with Chinese women. Kind of like scary. Well, on my $1 trillion, well. Yeah, what about that? You said like you have a huge freaking stash, you know? You couldn't share it with me, you want me to become a millionaire or something like that first. It's ranked gooning, yeah, pretty much, I would say. I'm not sure like about that, because it's like in a language I do not can read and understand. Like even if you put our translator, it's not really accurate. Sometimes they have like some hidden meanings as well. Or like some slang inside their little bubble. So I'm not really like sure if I can trust anything the translator spits out. And I need like a Hong Kong or like Taiwan person to like explain it to me. Well, my $1 trillion are busy right now, so I can't ask them for help. Okay, I suppose. Okay, any case. I need to go to China. China on top. Like China is sure like really advanced with what technology, regarding like technology, you know. But maybe only like in this kind of area. Or like things like toilet and so, like hygiene, they're kind of behind. For some reason. I heard like that the AI industry, like some things like AI, is being used in like some Chinese like entertainment media, you know, like for those live actions. That actors are not really like needed anymore, like those really attractive ones, you know. And they just like use some actor, and then like use AI to like make this one more handsome, you know, something like that. I heard like read like some article or something like that on Instagram. if it's true, kinda crazy. Yeah, also they have robots that can like do sword dances, so they can wield a weapon. So if you can use it for security, or like building a whole army, you know, this can be dangerous, you know. That you don't only have those drones that they can fire a firearm, you know, but also like those who can wield weapons. Super dangerous, actually. I like the coolest place on earth for me. I would simply take a toilet with me from home. Where? That's so shitty. NVM, yeah. Like this actor there, by the way, who got like kind of replaced amongst like many, you know. He went like back to his village, you know, and helps like his family like at farming work, you know. Like he's like farming potatoes, radishes and everything, you know, rice, instead of like doing a job as an actor, you know. Like, he was a handsome guy, by the way. Really, really handsome. You broke my China dream, JK. It's still like a good place though, to make vacation ads, but yeah. But if you want to live there, they're probably not gonna accept you anyway. They will not accept any tourists, you know. But yeah, in any case, living situation is like kind of similar to like Japan, like South Korea. For some reason, the Far East is like kind of like a double-sided plate. It's kind of weird. Wonderful tourist attractions. But man, treat your people better, man. Please. I can't imagine it, you know. Where in fact my beloved Jackie Chan gets replaced with AI. Like, he doesn't do this crazy stunts anymore, but it would still be sad because he has so much experience, you know, in this kind of field. There's like still more room before he dies. But at the same time, I believe Jackie Chan's like immortal. Like, if he can like live on for so long. Right, like a quality of life. Quality life is important. Interested in traditional Hatoba way? Just short visit to see temples is fine. Yeah, maybe like you know, the Chinese wall, you know, would also interesting to like see. The plan was kind of like that they built our entire wall around China, but they never completed it like in history. Yeah, at least there are toilets, you know, like around the gates. It's like something. But it sounds like it's sure amazing, you know. You can like walk the wall and then like around entire China, you know. I mean, yeah. Besides AI, I feel like the acting industry is also being affected by plastic surgeries. The impressions nowadays are not really good. Ah, I see. Well, I haven't like seen many Chinese shows or so. I tried to like watch this one that's like called in English King's Avatar. Like, how it's called in Chinese? Kind of remember it a little bit. Jiangxi. No, I can't do it. I can't do it anymore. But it was like called King's Avatar, like localized. It was something like esports, you know, about esports. Jiangxi Gaozhou. Not really sure anymore. I saw it like first on anime, Chinese anime. They had like Chinese dub and everything. I think like Mandarin. But then I saw like there's a live action, and actually the actors all look handsome in a sense. Like not my kind of handsome, but I saw like, yeah, there might be like a 9 or like an 8 for like other people, you know. The wall looks dope. I don't think I'd be able to walk enough to get there. Yeah, at the very least. I've seen somewhere the actress couldn't really show much emotion. She would laugh, cry, and get mad with the same face. Ah, I see. Yeah. Then the question is like, hey, is it AI? Then yeah. But nobody can trust the industry there anymore. And like, if things are like real. I've seen... okay. But yeah, regarding the Chinese media, I've like seen much. I'm interested like watching Jackie Chan stuff. You know? Or something where he like played a role in, like maybe he's a voice actor, you know? But other than that, I haven't like really consumed like Chinese like media, like entertainment in a sense. I tried like to watch a little bit of like King's Avatar, the live action, you know. People like said it would be like really worth, and they think like that the main actor, the protagonist, like handsome, but I saw like the kind of concept already, like in the anime version, you know, the original kind of plots, you know, like from the web thingy, and yeah, not really much reason. Maybe I'm kind of simple-minded, you know, like with what I want to watch. So hurtful, I miss all the times. I sound like Uchi-san now. Maybe you are. Maybe you are. And the trilogy genres are just like from your afterlife, you know? From your previous lives as well. That you just like accumulate like every single earning of like your past lives, and it's like a trillion. That's like why you can't access it, I suppose. Like if you think about all the past lives we potentially could have, then yeah, we are all Uchi-sans at the end of the day. It's just like our present life is like, not like that we are old, of the old iron. What do you mean? Well, just like my morning thoughts. But at least I can trust my morning thoughts a lot more than like my evening thoughts, you know? Never trust your thoughts after 10 PM or something like that. Like some people look like at the end of the day and be like really exhausted, you know, and then be like, I wanna die. But then, do not trust your thoughts. Don't act on it yet. Sleep a night of it, then make your decision or something like that. You are uncovering my secrets. I sure do. Hey yo. I might keep it black and white. I would like to at least like color the character. My mouth is covered, so I would like to draw a smile or something like that. I'm not sure like how this works out. I made that difficult on myself. Yeah, I can't draw the smile. Mouth is covered. But well, she cute still. It's still not complete yet though, so kind of feel conflicted. But yeah, some mystery stuff could be like still cool, I think. Like to play one day or so. There's like one game like in the that like the Yakuza studio like has like done, which is like Judgment called. In Japanese it's like Judge Your Eyes, but in localized it's like called Judgment, or like there's a second title that's like called Lost Judgment. It's basically like a detective like kind of like game. It's like a really good one, I heard. Like I should like want to play this as well, but maybe like after I played like the main Yakuza's titles, you know, like until 5 I would like say. Or maybe play it chronologically. But we'll take like maybe like around next year, I think. Like the main protagonist is handsome, by the way. Yagami. He looks so pretty. Yeah, totally. Yeah. Like with mystery stuff and so. But I think like when October like comes, you know, Halloween, I would like to play a horror game as well. I'm not sure like what kinds, you know. I played like last year or like 2 years ago on October, like maybe Omori, you know. And man, I got like a lot of like, this gave me like immense kind of boost. But still I liked the game. Oh, tell me more. Judgment. Yagami. Yeah. I can't really tell much more because I only like saw the title and like what this kind of like roughly entails, you know. But it has like also like crazy stuff like in Yakuza, you know, like with the balance between like main and sub story, you know. Where I have like some really serious like thing going on there, but at the same time can be like so wacky that it like balances like out like the heaviness, the weight you had like to like tank, you know. And there are like some kind of like scenes that seem kind of like yaoi, more or less. How describe it? Kabedom, you know, something like that. Then you have like kind of a scene where the handsome detective is kabadoing like another guy. This kind of like slight fan service, you know. I'm bad at horror games, but watching you play sounds very fun. Yeah, it should be. I mean, I can like shout like ah and everything, you know. Like I don't really get jump scared in regular games, but sometimes, you know, like battles, I get hit by something unexpected and then my XP is like really low. You know, those kind of moments. I also like scream and shout. What? I was 100%! Oh no, he was too far away! How did he hit me? Who pulled his gun? No, whatever, you know. Like those kind of regular reactions. Kia Capito. Yes. But yeah, this week, I posted a schedule like yesterday. I will tomorrow like do like little bit of Moment Talks on Play Archive. And then like around this weekend, 2 streams where I like play the new game Echoes of Aincrad. Sword Art Online game, by the way. And I played like the demo. The game is pretty mid, but the concept is like still interesting. Like you play the first 2 floors there of like the game Aincrad, Echoes of Aincrad, you know, like this Sword Art Online like environment. They could like surely do 100 floors, but then the development would like take 100 years, so like 10 years or so. So they like do it like first of all like this, like see if it like succeeds before they can like do more. And you play not as Kirito, but like you're another beta tester, and then get into the dev game kind of afterwards, you know, more or less. You mentioned it too, right? I saw the schedule. It looks cool. Yes, I did mention it. And what's interesting is like there's a death game mode. So if you die in the game, the entire save file gets like wiped. So it means there are stakes. It may be an ending, you know, like really short one. I just might like that in the first stream, you know. But it will be like, interestingly, how long can you survive? And if you survive for long, you can like see the stories, interactions like with other characters there. You might meet like Diabel, Ikebao also. Now like some recurring some characters that are like have like weight and like something to do in the main story, you know, like the anime. So it could be like interesting. And the writing of like Reiki Kawahara, like the creator of like SAO, has improved. So let's see, you know. Oh gosh, it sounds horrible. I love it. Yeah, it sounds horrible that you love it. That when I die, you know, save files like gun, and then I end my stream. When I do my salty run back. But I will like disclose if it's like the first attempt, second attempt or so. If I can do it like all first try, it would be amazing. But survivability is like important. It plays a little bit like Assault Light, I suppose. Where you can like do a roll, you can like block attacks and like strike when there's opening. It's kind of like how I play like in Yakuza 0 when I fight like Mr. Shakedown. I need to wait for the opening before I can attack. And even if I attack, I can't like do long combos. I need short ones or so. It's not like human opponents are like giant monsters or so, like giant boar, like some plant thingy. Some humanoid like opponents like lizard mans. And yeah. Like surviving will be like most interesting, but overall I think I will do a lot of like talking, yapping, because it's like a really huge map in the game. Like in the games are like really huge maps. And it's like walking simulator. I think I have to fill the air with like me talking, you know. I feel like. I watch like some streams of like JP streamers and if they're solo streamers, there's like not much interesting to BH. Like I don't think it's that good for a stream game, but it's a good for a Satsudan stream, I suppose. Yeah, it sounds very cool that you can do Satsudan. And when I shut my trap up, you know, in order to like focus, I think then that can get more interesting. But let's see, like about how things will like go. To be honest, I'm a little bit like skeptical about that, but yeah, let's see. The game is like was by the way like pretty expensive, so I had like to go to a retailer to get like a little bit more discounted. I think from region to region, like the price for the game is different, you know. I think Japan's like about $50 or so, but in the US it's like 70 USD or so. For a game that's like kinda mid. It's not like Yakuza, like I played, where it was like worth the price. And Yakuza 0 was not even like a $70 game. And still was amazing. But playing like SAO, because I anchored like demo, I wasn't really like sold on that, I must like say. The game was like kinda mid. It has like kind of a gameplay loop of like you go into the quest, like you go into the map to like fight monsters, obtain like treasure chests, gain XP, fight the boss monsters there. After you're like done with the map, you go back in town. When you check like of your loot, what weapon is the best? When you equip that, synthesize, crafting system, upgrade, buy potions, go back into map, and then you do that over and over and over again. Like this kind of the gameplay loop. The only thing that can like maybe carry it is like the story. and the banter between the characters. But it takes also long, because, you know, imagine like it's an open world gacha game with the dailies. That you have like to go from point A to B, and it's like a long walking time. Something like that. So in this kind of sense, I feel it's kind of mid, this game. Like, the game doesn't respect your time. It's like, it has a huge map, looks all amazing, but you can only interact with so few things. Something like that. That's crazy, what the fuck? So, why do they think they're Nintendo? Yeah. Any case, hello, yo, local, CRK, icon. Okay, icon. Welcome to the stream. I'm trying like here, Vtubing. I'm trying Hatoba Tsugu. Welcome. It sounds like Genshin, TBH. Yeah, kinda like that. It's like, kinda but I kinda like want to see where this goes, you know. Maybe the prices will be justified, you know, but at the same time, I'm not really sure. The challenge will be interesting though. The game's like still new, fresh out of the oven. Like it's like about, it came like 3 days ago. Yeah, 3 days ago, July 10th. So might as well like see, you know. And the game's still young. People still haven't found the ultimate meta yet, so what's the strat? So yeah, go next year. I found a little bit of a strat with like playing the demo, but need to like see if this still works, you know. Because survivability is like more important than like being able to do damage and so. I don't think that price can be justified. Yeah, it cannot be. I mean, this is not as amazing as Yakuza 0. Like I have played, you watch me playing. Yeah, there was like a lot of philosophy as well. And double meanings and so. Character growth. How one starts to love men in a sense, you know. There were like scenes where like go naked as well, a little bit of like fans service there. Only for the men though, but yeah. So expensive and not Amica appearance, sigh. Yeah, yeah. Well, I got it for a little bit cheaper, like I looked up for a retailer. And then yeah. The game is pretty mid though. But the challenge will be interesting, so you can watch me for that. I will like yap a lot there, like not interacting with some of the open worlds, or like not open world, but the battles so much, you know, like not comment on message so much maybe like near death, then I might like log in, you know, this can be interesting. Overall it would like be filled with like me yapping. Like on Friday morning I will like try to stream that, and then Sunday morning. I watch you complain, it'll be fun. Yeah, feel free to. I will leave a review of this game like after... when will I do this? When I beat the game? And then be like, I beat the game, it was mid. 7 out of 10, or maybe 6 out of 10, I don't know. By the way, I would like give Yakuza 0 a 9 out of 10. It's like pretty good. Yeah. Horrible experience, 8 out of 10. Yeah. Everyone died. It's so sad. Why could they live together? 9 out of 10. Yeah. A 9 is valid. -1 because I killed my man. Yes. Yes. But the themes was amazing. They did like really well. It feels like very balanced. There were some... It doesn't feel like that they put out Deus Ex Machina out of nowhere, you know? Sometimes feels like it, but it makes sense, you know? It's impressive though that Majima, or like Kiryu were like able to like fight on like an army, but they got like help at the very least, you know. So it's not like that are like actually monsters. It was so good, yeah. Like I felt like worried. Kiryu, there's like army of like men that are like armed, you know. Like handguns, plated weapons, like long plated weapons, they have the metal bats, you know. How do you fight that when, you know, reinforcement comes? His family, his crew, and they're like carrying his ass, you know. Go! I hold him off, you know. Yeah, something like that. It's like amazing. Amazing, yeah. And I like that, you know. Like power of friendship done right, in a sense. They're not here to like carry you in everything, but like in the most important steps, you know. Without like dragging the story for too long. You don't have to watch them fight, you know. Just like, no, you can go on and be assured that they will like carry for you. Same like Nishiki, you know. Go, I will distract them, you know. I like that. I liked everything there. This Sword Art Online, the anime, you know, I'm a little bit, you know, the first kind of half was kind of cool, you know. Like the Aincrad arc, but like around like the Alfheim thing, it kind of like fell off. There was like really a lot of NTR, and then like Kirito soloing, you know. But then at some point, I can't do it alone, power of friendship. But then it was kind of a little bit overblown. Yeah, a little bit too lazy with the writing. But I gotta like, see like how it goes like for the video game Echoes of Aincrad. For sure. It's like mostly about my own skills in this game. If I can survive. Even though I've had complaints about SAO, I do like the concept. I did enjoy the anime, even though it was kinda mid. But yeah. I would give it a 6 out of 10, I suppose, anime. Like, Aincrad arc was cool, but it fell off at like Alfheim. But if you just look at Aincrad, you know, the game I could like play, I'm curious, you know. There's like this like curiosity that wants of me that wants to play the game. I love the anime until they suddenly lock up Asuna. Why did they make the coolest character secondary lead? Right. I would be curious on like Kirito versus Asuna, you know, because Kirito always like said something that he cannot match in speed, something like that. Like, can the Black Swordsman, not the Berserk one, but like the SL one, how can he beat the... How's she called? Lightning or something like that? Clue Lighting? Something like that. How can he beat her? Are they even in skill? We never got like to see a conclusion, you know? If Kirito has no haters, I'm dead. He has a lot of haters, you know? I mean... He's just hated because he's mid. It's not a good reason, by the way, but yeah. Still people like him. Some people still like him, you know. Like, I find the cosplays funny. I find the cosplays funny. Some of those. You know the profile pictures with like one guy that's like cosplays Kirito, but the face is kind of like a 6 or so, and the double plates. It kind of looks like funny. I kind of like those. I hate him because I can. Yeah, sure. I mean, do what you want with your feelings. You have the freedom to do so, to control your own mind. I have literally no reason to hate. Yeah, he's just mid. And it's like not a really good excuse to hate someone. I think... I'm gonna cut out some parts here. I can't draw the scars. I'm pretty bad at that. I will keep this... I will cut out this area here. I don't need this one. Which is kind of a waste, but I don't need this one. I think. Just make it right around here. I don't need this area here. Of course, the cosplayers are dressing themselves up as their favorite characters or so, but sometimes it looks like those funny. It looks funny, I don't know. As if they're making fun of it. It looks so cute, I love it so far, yeah. How many times did I spend? Almost 2 hours, shit. Just of sketching. I'm so bad, man. I need to like get my grip, I suppose. Cosplay is about having fun, but does look funny sometimes. Fun? Funny? Doesn't go hand in hand. OMG, you cracked the code, yeah. Still, even though the storytelling is consistent in original, you know, I will try my best to enjoy the game, Echoes of Aincrad. I will try my best to like this game. I mean, games are like there to have fun at the end of the day. I don't hate playing it also. And just my impressions are like that's kinda mid. But maybe the full version can convince me, you know. Of that it can be better. I've only like about 6 hours of playtime of the demo. Maybe like the full game can convince me. I don't know. So you don't have to buy it. I make my own story, I swear. I have the time of my life. Yeah. I mean, you're in this game, you know. If you die in a game, you die in Minecraft. Something like that, you know. And then, yeah. Can be fun, interesting. I just need to find the right like survivability methods. And also, there are like many opponents and monsters, so I need to learn the patterns as well. If I encounter one that I don't know about, I need to be careful about like jump in, you know. There are like many kind of weapon types, you know. There are like swords, you can have a shield with you, you have like the rapier, knives, maces, greatswords, axes. So far, I like the rapier the best. Usually, I told you, spears. Spears are what I enjoy. You have range and everything. You can poke from a distance, but they don't have spears. Ah, so rapiers is this. I mean, it's called Sword Art Online, not Spear Art Online, I suppose. But they have maces and like things that are not blades, so it's also like, Slimes. I want to see a slime. I like slimes. I want slimes. Why has every isekai story like a level 1 opponent, you know? Not everyone, but you know? You get isekai'd, when your first opponent is like a little slime or a goblin, whatever. Your level 1 opponent, and then you can like show like, wow, I'm so strong. Girls, fall for me. I can protect you. And then we go like re-0, and then he meets like, you know, the professional assassin, the professional killer, and he gets killed over and over again. Elsa, I think was she called. Yes. And the only way he could like beat her was like getting help from Reinhardt, you know? When you don't start with level 1 opponents, but like a very hard one already. Right? Yeah, remember you talk about spears. Yes, I love spears. I love myself like a long weapon I can poke from a safe distance. I'm a pussy, you know? I don't want to get too close. That would work really well in Zombie Apocalypse, but like only in a 1v1. Like, I could like aim for like a headshot, you know, but then I have to pull out the weapon as well, and then yeah. With a sword it's like more dangerous because you're much closer to like the thing than with a spear, you know. You can let go of the spear, or like you can wobble it a little bit, like from left to right, you know, and like maybe like bump into like other Zs, kind of like that, you know, if it's a group. But if you're like in the... Yeah, I think like works better in a long corridor. Like not a corridor, but like in a wide open field, rather than in a close up environment. I love swords, I like dopes, I think they are dope. Yeah, I mean... They are cute. They are like mainstream, yes. But they weren't mainstream back in the days. It was like spears all over again. Because it's just the usability, not about like aura farming trip and so, you know. And swords were like reserved to like... I think like to the nobles. It's like really difficult kind of skill. The sword art. It was actually difficult. And the spear requires less skill and is already better than the sword skills, you know? Maybe color. I can finish this within 3 hours, I suppose. I feel like a spear would be harder to use. I mean, can use a stick. A wooden stick. A long stick. Like a staff or something like that. Maybe like your umbrella. All you have to do is like... You can use it like a baseball bat. Or use like a spear, you know? Just pull from a distance. For example... Your smartphone's like under the bed. You know, for some reason. You can also use it like that, you know? Like to like, kind of like, you know, use it to poke and then like pull back in, like hooking it, you know? Something like that, a broom as well. Like, a lot of people have experienced like using long objects, you know? Monkeys with sticks as well. Like, it's like more familiar of a use. That's why you don't need much training to use a spear and everything. With a sword, really different from like everyday tools. It's like what I mean, like that you don't need much training. The ultimate weapon, a broomstick. Yeah. Yeah. Basically. You don't need much to be a good spear wielder, actually. I mean, a gun is also not really difficult to use. It's just like about the aim. But at the end, if you get a hit, there are like, you know, they have to go to hospital. And this can also be like deadly. Unless you hit like a headshot or whatever, but yeah. In any case, like the ease of use is like the thing. Yeah, sword is heavy, by the way, I think. Because it's iron and everything. Did I ever have the pleasure to like have a sword in my hand? Not really. But I did like have the pleasure to like wearing a helmet, you know, like those iron helmets, like that like the European knights like wore. It's actually heavy, actually, you know. It like wears you down. So I can't imagine like how a sword would be. It could be like heavy. And then like trying to like do skillful stuff with it, you know, can be difficult. But for a spear, it's not much difficult, you know. It's like having a broomstick or so. Or like a staff. Something that's used for walking, for example, like Makoto, like with a walking cane. And if you like swing it like hard and wide enough, it can like still hurt, you know. So it doesn't really like need much on technique to be effective, I think like. So yeah, I'm kind of like about it that we don't have like spears in Sword Art Online or stars or whatever, but yeah, sure. I just use the rapier, I suppose, then. I like helmets, they're annoying. I hate helmets, are annoying. Also, I see, like this. I can't hold a sword because I'm the strongest. This doesn't make sense. Are you the strongest because you can't hold a sword, or are you the strongest because can't you hold a sword because you're the strongest? I don't know. Kind of contradicting yourselves. Yeah. How did I draw eyes? I don't know. Mistake, an innocent mistake. Sure. You think about as a mistake then. It was a mistake. I can't hold a sword because I'm the strongest. Sure. Can you play video games and beat like those difficult bosses because you're the strongest? I don't know what I want there. This is this, yes. Then I have to do this, I think. No, the resolution is pretty low. Okay, whatever. You don't sound convinced enough? Yeah, I totally am convinced, you know, that you're the strongest. So of course. Can I pretend that's like working, you know? I'm kind of like focused kind of right now, so I like talk too much, I suppose. Like, if it comes like to things like eyes and everything, like coloring, like a little bit more anime-ish, rather than like the chibi, which like it's kind of simpler to do. It's always like something where I go silent. And my response don't like sound so snappy anymore, so yeah. It's kind of like me wanting to make her justice, because I do think she cute. This girl here. But my skills are like not really that amazing. Not amazing yet to like make it justice, I feel like. I still try my best, so yeah, here we are. The eyes look pretty already. Right, you sound so much like a hate, but you don't sound much like a hater anymore, I suppose. Drawing can be like kinda hard. Especially because I'm not like familiar with like this game here. I lost the game. Oh, not like this. But yeah, I feel like sometimes like drawing can feel like a game as well, you know. It has like kind of a little bit of a rule set, but you can have like freedom like within this rule set if you like develop your own style and are like knowledgeable enough to like be able to break the rules, so you can like actually draw however you want. But yeah, it depends. Always depends. I think I will try it with the stream, not only to draw her, but also like practice a little bit like my illustration skills. I will like try to do something new here, I would like say. I'm not sure like if it's like enough within 3 hours, but can like feel free to like join me. I will like try to think of some yapping kind of topics or go with the flow, but yeah. I understand, I don't follow any rules when I try drawing. I do what feels best and never follow any guides. Yeah, this is like how it can work as well. And if you got like a feel and then you look at some guides and then, oh, maybe I can implement this or maybe that, you know. Then yeah. It's like learning by doing in a sense. Try like how it feels right. And then apply like some other stuff that can like complement like your current like methods. I should like look at artwork and be like, man, they're good, I suck. So I like downplaying myself, you know. Even though I think, like even if I look back at my older art and so, do like, yeah, it's actually not bad, you know. But still. Yeah, I like this kind of self-critic or so. You yourself are your biggest fan and your biggest critic at the same time. I like the colors actually by the already, but yeah, I still need to like to do something more. It's just a base one. Understand the feeling, yeah. Did I forgot something? Yeah, I forgot something. ちょっと待ってくれ。ちょっと待ってくれよ。ちょっと。I think she has a little bit of of like this here, right? A little bit of a hair knots like on the side. Oh god. Kyatto. I feel like I criticize my stuff just after I made it, but when time passes by and go back to see the art, I noticed the mistakes I was so focused on are not really obvious anymore, right? Sometimes you like let the mistakes like just be a part of that, you know. This can just be another shadow, you know, a little bit of like shading that can like add some charm, like sketches, you know. And that's like I kind of like don't really do line art. I like work with the sketch like I have, you know. Let's play with the current hand. Because I do think it's like not bad. I can use that to my advantage. There's like this art trend of like old art, new art, you know. It was on Twitter, by the way. I kind of feel like I didn't improve that much. I just used like a different pen, you know, which makes like the line art a little bit more mushy than like straight and clean, I suppose. But I think like the mushiness is like, the sketchiness is like more my thing, I suppose. And then yeah, that like things are not always clean and perfect, you know. It can be like imperfect and still like do the job. Like when you play a game or when you live life, you will always get a 100% perfect like done, you know. I think like those clean straight lines are really fit me. I mean, even like the more straight lines are like kind of wobbly, you know. So I kind of like use the mushiness to like kind of overplay that, and it does work a lot better, I think. The proof is there, trust it. Looks like you put a lot of effort in. Yeah, even though it was kind of part of a Rakugaki screen, you know? Like, where I just like draw, practice draw, you know? Kind of like that. And sometimes seeing like this practice like really good, you know? Like practice like it's real, and then if you do the actual thing, pretend it's a game, you know? Besides, as I said before, I loved Oji-san chibi. Tosan chibi, by the way. Tosan chibi. Oji-san じゃねえよ。Tosan だよ。Tosan だよ。ズラじゃねえ。カツラだ。Kinda like. Oji-san, na, nya, na. Oji-san. Oji? Oji-sama? Hatoba no Oji-san. Yeah, it can also be Oji-sama. Like, this is Yuki's favorite ideal man, like a prince. Does she mean I'm the ideal man for Yuki-chan? Oh, let's go. I can't date her. With the next time in the cover club. Club Sunshine. Not Oji-sama. Never Oji-sama. I mean Oji-san. Oji-san. Oji-sama. I'm not old. Well, I am old, but not that old. And there are people older than me that are still like not really mature in a sense. Well, I have like my like moments of immaturity as well, you know. Of course. But I try my best. I try my best. You know, because you kind of like call me like physically an adult, you know. I kind of have like to put a good enough role model on, you know, and at least like kind of neutral or not like an asshole. I feel like kids like learn a lot from us. On the environment, you know. Kind of like what reminds me of my own dream, you know, like it depends on the environment that you can learn, you know. You can't have like all elitist people around you. You sometimes need other kids, you know, to like just learn what it's like to be a kid and like decompress and like restore your morals in a sense. Environment's like pretty important. You're not all about your Oji-sama art. Yeah, I will. Physically, I don't look like Oji-san, but mentally, I might be one. I'm like not sure like how my recent design will like go, like with what kind of themes I will like do. I have like a bit of a plan here and there already, but at the same time, I say like things like I'm gonna empty my tank, and then it would kind of like look funny, like me, a little guy inside a tank, you know? Like Iroha, like in Blue Archive, you know? There's a little like chibi on top of a tank, and then let's go! Boom, boom, you know, something like that. They're gonna be a tank commander the next time, like in my redesign. Could be funny. I don't know much about tanks, that's the thing as well. Little guy indeed, yes. I'm just a little guy, come on man. I also want like learn to little bit of like animation, maybe like stop motion, you know. But let's see. Like I think I will use like PNG tuber for a long while, but I could also animate a little bit, you know, like when I speak that like there are like mouth flaps also. Like blinks, but at the same time, I don't think like this kind of chibi is supposed to blink. Next redesign, Kirito Oji-san. I just need a black coat and like the double swords, you know? When I make like a funny face. When I do like, stop us to stream! It's everything, you know? You just have to yell a lot, that's the essence of Kirito cosplay. I mean, I can make the Ikemen voice, I suppose, if I've put my heart into it. Like, Kirito's kinda mid, but he is handsome. Like, mid as like the character, personality-wise and so. And like how his skill sets and personality set like are. But he's handsome. It's just like when you translate that into a cosplay, the average cosplayer looks funny. Kind of an edgelord, you know, because completely dressed in black. And a black swordsman. Starburst stream. And yeah. He's decent, I suppose. Kirito's an edgelord in spirit. Yeah. Yeah. There are many like Kirito clones out there, like with Isekai. So I suppose like that made like Kirito itself like more unpopular, even though he didn't do much. Okay, I'm gonna open... What do I open? I need to check on Blue Archive, by the way. My dailies. And the cafe has reset. I can invite a new student. Also gonna check Discord. I think I kinda saved like there a new tutorial on like coloring. I kinda like want to check on that. Well, the good thing is in Echoes Aincrad you don't play as Kirito, you play as yourself. Even though it's like a character that doesn't like really talk, you know? They're like nodding their heads, you know? They're shaking their heads. They do like those body gestures, you know? Like to like talk. Okay. Oh, sounds nice, yeah. What is this called? Okay, complementary colors. Also, but I need to like check on the line weight as well. I work on the line weight first. By the way, like besides like playing a different character, no, you're not Kirito, but as yourself, there are also like a different cast. Like while you might like see characters you already seen in anime before, or like in on a progressive, upgraded version of like Aincrad arc, you also like meet like new NPCs that are like exactly made for that. Like you will have a partner, companion or so. It can like be kind of interesting as well. Like with the face reveal later on, you know, like when the Kayabaki comes in like, hey everyone, if you die in the game, you die in real life. And by the way, if someone tries to like removes your headgear, you will also die. Have fun playing, and then by the way, have a gift event. He gives like everyone a mirror. They like open inventory, get the mirror, and then face reveal, you know? And this can be interesting for your companion as well there, you know? Oh, how cool, that's interesting. So yeah, it can be like interesting there. I think the banter, I like the dialogues actually, and between the other characters, and I do like want to see more, I would say. Some people don't like the characters there, but I kind of thought like this is like something new as well. It's kind of like the setting where you play like with your friends a beta test, kind of like, and for some reason they use their real life face instead of like, you know, going with the standard, you know, they just like want to play as quickly as possible. And yeah, so that already doxing themselves, you know, but you shouldn't. At the very least, like with the names, they don't dox themselves, so it's like something. But yeah, there was like it was an interesting thing that Asuna, when she like played SAO, you know, she used a real life name. It was like real life face and everything. Like when she first like got to like play. I suppose it's her first game. Like I saw like the online progressive kind of like story. And Asuna is kind of like interesting, you know. As long as you don't make it a waifu, you know, as long as she's like independent and so. Yeah, that's funny. I would never even try to add my face, right? But, you know, when you put on the nerve gear, like in this kind of a universe, they make a face scan, a body scan. I don't know how this works, body scan, like if you just put a headgear, but for some reason it works, and then so that they can adjust the settings on like your body structure and like your movements, you know? Something like that. And then yeah, face reveals are possible. Because they scan your face for that. While the gaming industry like trying to do like live service games or so, like those rich CEOs that like buy studios and so, I do wonder, you know, what about a VR MMORPG or online? We don't have like good VR games actually. We have like VR chat, but that's not a game really, you know. I'd just be pissed if they did a body scan. My character doesn't need to be as slow as me. Yeah. But I mean, if you're fat, you can have a big body. You can tank for other people. But yeah, it can be like pretty bad if you're like solo, then play solo, when you're like fat. A fat fuck, for example, and then it's gonna be hard. But at the same time, you can level up in the game. You can raise stats. And maybe like being fat doesn't really matter. But yeah, hitboxes and everything, it's kind of trouble. If you're like small like Len, like in the alternatives Guardian Online, then yeah, kind of advantage to be like small, agile, hard to hit and so. The only thing I'm kind of afraid about is like this game, not necessarily monsters, but fall damage. You just have to explore, then you fall, dead. I'm afraid of that. You can't even swim in the game, by the way. So if you try to like take a bath, like jump into like water, you know, that can negate fall damage in Minecraft, you will die. Character cannot swim. Not a scam, you know. You can't expect you can do that. You can fish, you can cook and everything, like how they show in anime. But the game doesn't allow that much, you know. It's just like the combat and like trying to survive, which is like the selling point. So yeah. But I will still try to have fun. That would be funny, being a lonely tank. Yeah, but you know, there's like anime that's called like I don't want to get hurt, so I makes my defense stats or so. Like in an MMORPG. There's this little girl called Maple. She doesn't want to get hurt, and then she makes her defense skill. Yeah. At some point she was like unkillable, you know? And then she got like pretty strong and imbalanced. That the kind of like administrators be like, shit, I think we can the oversight, you know? Like there's a newbie and she's unkillable, even poison can't do anything because she built a resistance for it, you know? And the way she like does damage is like, you know, using the loots from the boss drops to like summon them, and then she attacks with those. Like the poison Hydra, for example, and then kills everyone with that. Something like that. I think I heard of it. Yeah. It's pretty cute and funny anime. No, cute and hilarious anime actually. sorry. It's not the whoa, Kane! It's just like cute and hilarious. But there's like lolly built characters in there, like just little girls doing like cute little things, you know? She sounds amazing. Yeah. There are like 2 seasons, maybe 3 out of there. I had like fun. It's like a fun little show. You can like turn your brain off, and yeah. But is there like a bigger story? Is there a big goal? A big message that you can learn for life? Not really. It's just like you know, seeing like a cute girl doing like cute things, but in a game. But what's the name? I'm gonna look it up, I suppose. I kinda remember like by the name of like, you know, I don't want to get hurt, so I raise my defense stats or so. But I can like check. I think it's start of Itai or so. I found it. The Japanese title is like Itai no wa iya na no de bougyoku ni ki o kufuri shitai no omoimasu. The English title is like Bofuri. I don't want to get hurt, so I'll max out my defense. Yeah, okay, something like that. Bofuri is like the short one. You got my attention very quickly. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty easy to digest. Yeah, there are 2 seasons. Yeah, alright. Light novel and manga still ongoing. Like, it's a girl, black armor, has a giant shield. Just a shield, no weapon really. I think a dagger maybe, that was it. Thank you, I watched it. You're welcome. The anime is like 6 years old. Winter 2020 it came like out. I see here. It's dumb fun. But yeah. Only watched like the first season. I think like around the second season I kind of stopped like there. With like I don't know what you can get out of that anymore. It's just like the potential growth, you know, like slime, kind of like when you eat and at some point you're like undefeatable. It's kind of like interesting in the beginning, you know, but at some point I kind of like, yeah, because there's no message or like some stakes or so. You don't need one actually, but it was like fun when I watched it. So yeah. What was the next step? With coloring. I think like darker shades. Yes. Darker shades. How do I do this? Yeah, do I add this thing multiply layer? Yeah, both then. Right, like removal got crazy strong without noticing, right? It's kind of fun in the beginning, you know? Because you're like, it's like kind of the 0 to hero. But after 1 season I'm kind of like, okay, I saw enough. I'm satisfied, you know? Even if there's supposed to be a story, like a stakes, a end goal and everything, I'm like not interested, really. I even forgot like what was like Rimu's goal in this world, you know? He's just died, he became a slime. What's his goal now? I don't know. Surviving, I suppose. This doesn't like sound appealing to me, you know? With One Piece, okay, it's like I wanna be the king of the pirates. I wanna find the One Piece and wanna be like that. Which is like kinda like more of a goal, but the series hasn't ended yet. So I don't know if I can like keep up with One Piece, for example. but they're doing a remake which like has like a lot better pacing, like anime wise, you know. So I will watch that one. He didn't have a goal in the beginning, he just lived. Yeah. Just seeing people live is like not really like enough for me. Wolfie has like 2 seasons, but I think like 1 season enough was for me enough, you know. I was like happy with just 1 season. I didn't need more. Something like that. But yeah, when there's a clear end goal, kind of like or if the character is interesting enough, if there's a turning point for some reason, when this changes the goal, you know, it can also be like interesting. I kind of like Mushoku Tensei, you know, but it's kind of like hard to recommend because some people cannot watch it because the main character is like very painfully real, kind of like, for some people. It gets uncomfortable for them. Even like people who throw like hentai doujinshis, you know, even they feel like a little bit disgusted about the main character. And then it's kind of like, okay. I don't know, like if my tolerance level is like really high with like stuff like that. I'm really like immune, you know. Like someone dies and I just like not reacting. Maybe I'm so desensitized from watching like too much media entertainment, so I don't know. Maybe I'm not human anymore. Huh? It has 4 seasons now. Slime, fantastic. It's still being published, but if I remember correctly, it is the last one. Okay, see. Oh yeah, it's hard to bring out, but it's a good story. Yes, like with Mushoku Tensei. How about I draw her like she's the moon? So I will delete this for starters. The shadows. Like Mushoku Tensei, I think has like 24 episodes the first season. 12. Maybe another 20 for the second season. There's now a 3rd season out there. I do recommend usually like reading light novel, but now like for an anime only watcher it's gonna be hard to like jump into that boat, so... But the thing is, like, the anime left like some really cool stuff out there, or like important stuff to like explain like why certain characters make some certain decisions, you know. The prota is interesting, but once you get used to it, you can really enjoy it. Yeah, it was looking nice. You kind of saying you like watched it before. Kind of like sound like it. Not really sure. But I did like read the light novel, and there was at some point like a point where I just like started binge reading it, you know, because it was so good. And then I was like done with like a whole volume within a day. I think like I was done within 5 hours or so. And I was like, man, I want to read more, where's the next volume? Please release it! And then yeah. It was still in translation progress, while like in Japan they already had like the last volume out there and this ending. It was like kind of like satisfying, you know, because the character developed so much that he became like the version we loved the most, kind of like similar to like Majima, or like in the ending of like Yakuza 0, you know, man, I like this version of him now, right now, something like that, you know. It was like kind of satisfying way to conclude it. Maybe not for the whole world and story, but like for the character. Amazing, you know? Are they? Jeez, yeah. Kinda like it. I kinda love to like the character Rudius, the protagonist, you know? But some people are not as patient, you know? They're not as like nice and patient, forgiving about like some misdeeds, you know? There are people who like generally struggle like the hikikomoris nowadays, you know? You can imagine to be like all fat fucks, you know, instead of like those Kirito clones who maybe got like bullied. Oh no, I don't know. Or salarymans. And so on. At the very least, Rimuru is like unique. A little bit more unique. Like they don't get Isekai as a Kirito, you know? You get Isekai as a slime. Okay, something, you know? But like seeing like this fat fuck actually like turning into more and more decent person, you know? Someone I like start liking more and more. This is like something. He still does mistake, but you know, you live life and try to live it as best you can, you know? Like try to be as good as you can. Like try to live every day, learn something new. Maybe you can like save a life, you know, if you like learn first aid, something like that, you know, slowly, step by step. But sometimes you do a mistake again, you know, when people like, okay, that's it. I kick this person like out now. No, 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 he still has room to grow. No, no, don't do that. And, you know, still like first class, fifth grade or so, 7th grade, but they're still not close to graduation yet, or something like that, you know. You need to give them a chance over and over again. Like Sensei, like unlimited chances. So I once for the translator had the volumes ready one day after they were published. It was the Postman of Life. What? That's cool. There's people that give up society. Yeah, like Hikikomoris, for example. Like those can be really interesting, like to like explore deeper, but people are not as patient, you know. Sadly. People are not really patient. They want like progress as fast as possible, but it's like raising a kid or like taking care of a plant, you know, in your garden. Sometimes it like goes well, sometimes not, you know. It's like with weather, and so if it's gonna be sunny or it's gonna be rainy, you know, you need to take care of your plant somehow. He's more human. I enjoyed seeing him grow, like actually grow. Yeah, that's cool. People tend to judge the action without taking into consideration situations that made it happen in the end. Right, right. A lot of people, for example, hate like those heinous villains like in anime, you know, like Griffith from Berserk. Not really sure if like read or like watched Berserk, you know. But the station like he was in was kind of like hard as well. Hard to deal with, I would say. I'm not sure if I should spoiler a story that's like about 30 years old. But Griffith is like the most heinous villain, one of the most heinous villains like in anime, in manga. He had like friends, the Band of the Hawk, a whole mercenary group, you know? I didn't finish Berserk, but I did like Griffith. I usually enjoy villains a lot, I see. He had like the Band of the Hawks, a whole group, a whole friend group, you know, mercenaries, like people who trusted him, you know, following his command, his guide, you know. And there was like at one point like where he did like a messy slip up, you know, like after Guts rejected him, and this like ended up like him like getting tortured, you know, like for a very long time, a year I think, and he is like he's crippled, can't move his arms, can't move his like legs. His face is like mishandled, he's like ugly now. He like wears a helmet and everything. And he can't like do shit without help anymore. Can't even hold a sword. And then he gets like kind of like drawn in like the demon world or so, the eclipse or so, like happens. And then he has like the ultimatum. Sacrifice all your friends, you know, to like fulfill your goal, your dreams, you know, restore your body, or live like that forever. And this was like kind of a hard choice, you know, a really meaty ultimatum, you know, kind of like. If you were in a situation, maybe you wouldn't like want to be a crippled like kind of dude. Maybe you do want to sacrifice all of them, you know? Like, you have like to take this in context. He did end up sacrificing every one of them, you know? And they got like brutally killed by the demons in this world there. Which is kinda eh? But it kinda makes sense, you know? But doesn't excuse his action. Like, some actions have like really horrible weight. You know? Yeah, horrible stuff. And some of characters were really likable, you know? I started to like them. Now you, John, Pete, there was like this big old dude as there as well. And Casca even. Man, what Griffith did even to her as a last fuck you to like gods. I don't know. Like, this was, man, so messed up, you know? It doesn't excuse it, but it makes sense. Yeah, really. I just can't be mad at him for doing something selfish. Yeah, I suppose. Because at the end of the day, just someone who reads it for entertainment. You're like on the other side of the screen or like of the book, you know? And you're so desensitized from them getting done so heinous things to, you know? It's kind of like cruel as well. In a sense. Or like when people watch Squid Game, you know, they maybe get shocked and so, but then they still like watch, you know, because they want to see like what happens, even if it means like another life is gonna get sacrificed. It's kind of like fucked up, you know. The world is like fucked, more or less. It kind of puts in perspective. Maybe we are the bad guys, you know. Again, maybe we should like wish for people's well-being. There are things like the Beast games, for example. It's like something like Squid Games, you know? Maybe are not really like the thing entertainment like once. We had like back in the days like Colosseums where we had like criminals fight each other with like elite soldiers or whatever. And they lose. And it's just for entertainment. It's also like not a thing anymore. Officially, you know? But yeah. It kind of like shows ugliness as well. Like, not the main protagonist at fault, you know, necessarily. It can be society, you know, like Joker. That it could like be many factors that like played the role of creating a monster, in a sense. It's pretty interesting. Am I the monster? Are we the monsters? Is he the monster, you know? And it's like open-ended. Really interesting, I think. Like when stories are willing to explore like that. And I never thought like Isekai, for example, like Mushoku Tensei, or like ReZero, to have like those kind of things, you know? For example, like that they really make the character progress, you know? Like that they put like so much care into that. Even if you end up hating the character and get annoyed. But that's like how life is like, you know, like with some humans, you know? How people get frustrated with like that plants don't grow like fast enough. They're potatoes, they're tomatoes or whatever, you know? Right, they're actually living the stuff and not just reading it like me. I can't judge them as hard because I'm not actually feeling in the same situation like them. That's why I like try my best like to understand like the characters. Even if I don't really agree with them, I do like try my best to understand. I pause like a lot in like Yakuza cutscenes, you know, just to like comment. Some people might find it annoying, but I sometimes need to do it in order to understand. Like Tema's deck making me like, shut a minute, did he really do that? Okay, okay, he did this and this and that. Okay, probably this and then yeah. Something like that, you know. I do care about like trying to understand. Oh gosh, coloring is complicated. I see like the tutorial that there's all kind of layers. Holy crap. Crazy. I'm sure everyone's a monster or a hero depending on who you ask. There are always more than one perspective, always more than one truth. Yes, yes. And I do love it when like stories explore that a little more, you know? Of course, I do like my shows where I can turn my brain off, but my favorite shows, you know, or like games, they do explore this kind of like stuff. And those are like sticking with me forever, you know? Those kind of things. No, I get you, I do the same. Like with stopping, like pausing and like summarizing. Yeah, I suppose. Like if I watch a movie or watch an anime, I don't really do this, but if I have an opportunity, like in a game, you know, or if I, for example, if I become a React streamer, I sure would do that, just pausing every single time. And like, make sure if I understood it correctly. And that's a cool part of entertainment, there's a lot of everything for everyone. That's right. It's just a little bit like sad that those people who are like rich, you know, don't really understand. It's like sometimes those things that like shown, for example, Squid Games, capitalism, so are like a warning rather than like the blueprint for something cool, you know. Like Mr. Beast, for example, fell like for that and made like Mr. Beast games, you know, and this got kind of like really bad ratings, for example, like from film critics, for example, because first in the category, you know, regarding that. That feels more like a YouTube video than like actually film or show, you know. It's kind of like you know. Also, he didn't understand like Squid Games because he thought this would be like something cool, but it was not something cool, you know. And even like because of the consequence of that people like saw money in this kind of entertainment thing, that they like bought the rights to like, you know, hey, can you do more season, you know, we give you money. When he sold his soul like to, you know, like he sold Squid Games, or like the maker, you know, of that sold his soul for money, and then it's kind of like that. But still like the core message was like there in season 1, you know, kind of like that. Then at the end of the day, like money, some rich people who are not really understanding core message, maybe who are immature as well, you know, don't do the right decisions regarding that, you know. They don't see like the bigger picture. It's also like kind of frustrating, I would like say, but yeah. Really, I talk a lot when I watch movies or animes. I need to speak out my thoughts to process them properly. I suppose, yeah. And sometimes like talk also as well, if I have like a neighbor, like someone I watch it with them as well. Saying it's not examples are warning. What did I change? I merged the layers, yes. And now I can add details if I want. Oh gosh. Tor is a little bit easy to understand, but at the same time not really. I suppose. I need to learn how to like color, I suppose, a little bit more. But it's like not bad so far. How long am I in? Almost 3 hours. Almost 3 hours, I think, yeah. It's like kinda good for now. I could do more of the background, but I think I'll leave it at that. And maybe like do a little bit more, play around with the details, I suppose. Do I have more line art? Let's do more line art. It looks pretty cool, I like it a lot. Yeah. I kinda like wanted to give it a little bit of the uncanny feeling, you know, that you get like from watching the videos from Hatoba Tsugu, you know? Not sure like if I succeeded with that. It looks not ass, I can like say. I would like say, you know? It's not ass. But I sure could do better, so there's like room to grow, you know? I like it when there's room to grow, actually. Then I don't like perfect like right in the beginning be like, huh, 大したことないだよ, and then, you know, call it a day and like never try again, you know? At least, let's see, there's like still like room to grow, there's a struggle, and then, you know, and then like I keep trying until I'm like satisfied, you know? But getting satisfied is not always enough, you know? It's just like, well, okay, it's good enough, you know, I could do better, but I don't have time, let's leave it at that, and then yeah. That's why my streams are, art streams I keep them short, you know? I have a little bit of a time limit every single time there, especially during a work day. If I stop working, like if I get jobless, I wonder as well. This reminds me of Limbus Company, maybe it's the colors? I suppose. By the way, I would like to play Limbus Company as well. I like bought like Library of Ruina, I think it's called. Like, if you play that, you will have more fun playing Limbus Company or so. And I heard like the story in Limbus Company is pretty nice. And they don't try to say a gacha character, but or something like that. They try like to play with the cards they have already and flesh out those characters, you know, something like that. So like keep popping new girls or whatever, you know, like in some gacha games. So yeah, I was kind of curious. But I would also like to play other gacha games like Stellar Sora, or Astral Horatio, like the Hogwarts archive. We could like call it like that, you know, just for the story, not like for the whole gameplay. I'm fine enough with like Blue Archive already. If I miss me, I kinda quit, but if I want to read the story, I think like it's always like available for me there. I loved Limbus, but I got stuck on one part and got stressed and uninstalled. No way. But I would totally recommend it. Alright, cool. I mean, if there's time, I might like read play Library of Arena. I'm not sure like how long the game will be. I'm gonna like check, you know, if it maybe like takes a whole month or like a whole season, let's say. Whole seasons, like, yeah. Yakuza 0, it took like about a season, like about 3 months plus to like finish that. Like if I do a weekly like routine. It sounds like a fun plan, yeah. I hope so, it will be. I hope it will be. I don't know why I do this, but uncanny feeling. I don't think I can do this, but it's something. It's not ass. I'm gonna post this in the Hatoba Tsugu fan Discord server and then farm a little bit of likes, I suppose. And on my social media usually. Then yeah. I'm gonna stream tomorrow too. Gonna read some Momo talks in Blue Archive, you know, interacting with the students, like seeing if there are any other wacky stories or like some sweet ones. Gonna like see something where I can turn my brain off a little bit and like whip out like my my dad voice, or reading a bedtime story, or like something like voice acting, yeah, for sure. And then there will be Echoes Einquad like later on. I kind of like talk about, kind of like, man, it's gonna be fun to play, but at the same time like roast it a little bit, you know, because I don't know why. Maybe I got like used to like that, which is maybe not that good. Like, who starts a conversation for like trash talk about something? You're not normal, Tosha. Get a grip. I'm sorry. But yeah. Yay! But man, I really would like be interested in like how long can I survive in this game, you know? It's like not the real Sword Art Online, but it's something close to it, so yeah. I'm curious. Like, I survived like Yakuza 0 so far. I didn't have like to do like, no, I didn't land in like this continue screen, you know? Where they like ask you, you know, do you want to quit or continue, you know? I just like pressed on and like kind of like made it. But I was really close to like dying. It was like really like, yeah. Don't be too hard on yourself, Ochi-san. Yeah. But if it's really a death game mode, I mean, it is a death game mode, you know? Might as well like see how long you can survive. You know, you play a zombie game, pretend it's like real life, how long do you survive? I don't think I would like survive for long. But if it's just a game, not like actual death game, that's a game, and yeah, I could surely do that. You somehow pulled that off. It was the most impressive thing I've ever seen. Yeah, it was on the hardest difficulty I could play from the beginning, like the hard mode. I kinda enjoy playing games on a harder difficulty, but man, I kinda cursed my past decision. Past Tosan, why did you make that hard mode? This was painful. But yeah, still, I played the cards I've been dealt with and it worked out somewhat. So can't be too angry about that. I think I like will play a little bit of around with that image, you know, before I post it. Like maybe like do something like with the work off with filters or so. I'm not sure like how this works in Clip Studio, but I will like try a little bit off stream. And if I feel confident enough, I can like go so far to make it on stream as well. I play with a different program around, but there's also something in Clip Studio. But yeah, the plan is like for the next schedule is setting out. I have a bit of a plan. OMG, you remind me of Miraniki. It's been a while. Miraniki is like the future diary thing, right? I read like the manga. I didn't watch the anime, but I read the manga. Like with the death game, kind of like that. They have like all a version of a diary which can like extend into the future. If they can like predict the moves of other people. There are like mind games or something like that, and also like them trying to kill each other, so that the winner can be a god or something like that. And it was like famous for the yandere, Yuno Gasai, something like that. It was interesting if I read. It had something to do with time traveling afterwards. That there were like 2 Yuno Gasais or so. In the one timeline there was like this yandere, Yuno, kind of. But yeah, it was like pretty infamous because of this yandere. And then this did find it yandere thing. Yeah, the death game brought back so many memories. It was one of my first animes I ever watched. Watching YouTube on 144p. Oh no. Well, you live what you play with the cards you've been dealt with, I suppose. So it's something. But death games have like different rules, every single one. Either try to kill each other one, only that like one or two are standing. Or you try to like work together as a team, like in Minecraft, you know? You need to clear one of the floors and you can like try to tag team and like do it, you know? You can also raise your levels and everything. I'm not sure if there's a cap or so, but you try, get stronger, get companions together, and then maybe you can like do it. But there are also like bad actors in there, like trying, oh man, I like the thrill when I kill people in a video game. Let's do PK, you know? It's also a thing. And yeah. I suppose some people don't want to escape the world. Some are fine like living there, but at some point real life people would get annoyed of like, man, they haven't, it's like 10 years, they still haven't beat Sword Online. Let's cut off their support and let them die, you know? And then stopping all the hospital support and then you know, also the end, for example. So yeah, people can't live there forever in a sense. But the concept is cool, you know? And that there are like many kind of like characters that can like get in the way of like completing the game. The anime, or like the original light novel of the story kind of like cheated a little bit, you know? They got like to meet the final boss, Kayaba Akihiko, like a little bit too soon. And when he was defeated, okay, we are free, let's go, we don't have to clear all the floors, yay! And then yeah. But Online Progressive will like try to like do the original goal, I suppose, and then yeah. But yeah, this was kind of the sloppy turning point with like the experience of like Kayaba Akihiko, you know, kind of like there. But yeah, I was in trenches. I didn't know I was watching anime. Cool. Yeah, but this was a nice introduction, I suppose. The end was unfair to the other players. Yeah, I suppose it really was. And I'm still like a little bit confused, like why Klein didn't use his like crystal he got like from Kirito after the Sachi episode, you know? There was like a rumor that was a crystal that can revive a dead player or so. But this was like crystal, you know? They can only work when the players like reaches 0 HP. Within 10 seconds before the nerf gear will kill them, use this crystal, they will get revived. Something like that, you know? So when like Heathcliff and Kirito fought, when Asuna died, when Kirito died, Klein, you could have used the crystal there, you know? But the writer forgot probably. It was kind of like a plot hole there, you know? What? Why not use it when you got it, you know? I kind of want... This was one of the plot holes. There were like many plot holes, you know? But yeah, it's like one of the things I kind of like... Was like... You know... It's kind of weird, but yeah, whatever, you know? Instead I do like, you know... cheat codes on, and for some reason even when Kirito's HP was like at 0, he still like was able to stab like Kayaba Akihiko, you know, and still like got like the happy ending. It's kind of like, you know, a Deus Ex Machina, something that doesn't make sense, but yeah, why not, you know? Let's roll with it. The writer was so sleepy that day, yeah. I mean, he was a teenager when he wrote like Sword Art Online, so I suppose. But he tries to make a better version of like that with Sword Art Progressive. It's like still not a masterpiece, but obviously a lot better than like what he originally wrote. So yeah, it's like something. But yeah, in any case, even though I roast like Sword Art Online for no reason, I'm looking forward to play the game. I will like talk, I would maybe like about a day about what I ate or so, and yeah, and like what anime I watched. I can like talk about that as well. I can like I have like interest like to talk about now, but I think I will wrap it up here. This has been like drawing fan art of Hatoba Tsugu. I will like edit a little bit more after the stream, and yeah. In any case, thank you all for watching. I would say, yeah, thank you all for watching. Being a teenager and coming up with such a concept is amazing. If I could that one day. But yeah, I'd love to hear more Rex. Sure. Tune into the Sword Art Online stream. I will like probably talk. In any case, have a nice rest of the day, evening, good night, whatever time zone in the world you all are. What I'm gonna say. Bye bye.